Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome in once again. Today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new offering from Bestech that is currently available because I'm about a week late on getting this video out. So I was not able to give you the sneak peek that was initially intended. This is the new, I'm going to try to pronounce this. I don't know if it's correct or not because it's a Chinese word and I don't speak Chinese. This is the QQ. QQ means cricket in Chinese, and that is what this knife is designed after. You can see the inspiration of the cricket body in the frame and the folded wing design over the back of it, as we see on the top of this aluminum frame. It's an interesting idea and something that I don't think we would have normally seen from any other company, except for the fact that Bestech has allowed an 8-year-old child to influence a new knife design. I think that's pretty darn cool. The inspiration for this design comes from an 8-year-old Gogo, the daughter of one of the owners of Bestech. And as I understand it, she loves crickets, she talks to crickets, she likes to play around with them. She's very much an outdoor nature kind of little girl. And she wanted to create something artful based on the shape and the look of a cricket. So famed knife designer Ostapel was tapped by Bestech to lend a hand translating the idea into a folding knife. And I gotta say, they did a really, really good job. It's very clear when you look at it, it's very insect-like, and when somebody says, yeah, it's a cricket, you're like, now I see it, I totally get it. The aluminum frame resembles the shape of the body, while the milling in the frame, let's kind of zoom in a little bit here. Got a little bit of my dead skin in there from playing with this for so long. The milling in the frame brings the look of the cricket out even more, where you could see the overlapped wings that you would see on the back of a cricket coming through in this design. Ostap also wanted to keep Gogo in mind for the actual use as well, so he kept it small and cute with a simple operation that even a young child could master. Because all you're going to be doing here, let me get this back closed, is you're going to depress the button lock. So once you depress the plunger, it releases the tension on the blade, and then all you do is swing it out with your hand. That's all there is to it. There's no flipper, there's no top flipper, front flipper, back flipper, nothing crazy. It's not a slip joint where you'd have a nail nick that pulls it out, because the whole idea was to completely disguise the blade inside of the frame. No part of it was sticking out, because then it would be a bit asymmetric. Not only because of, whatever amount of blade would be sticking out here that wouldn't be here, but then you'd have whatever color they chose for the frame, because there are different color options available, then you would have this bright silver thing hanging off the side. So they chose to have this completely hidden within the frame. And it's a very, very cool idea. Now, if you like to collect very tiny knives, you're probably going to love this. The blade is only 2.2 inches, so it is very, very tiny, yet it's actually useful. It looks like a double-edged dagger, but it's not. This is a false edge on this side here, so it's a very dramatic swedge. So you can actually rest your finger on the back of it and do whatever cutting that you wanted to do. And you can also use that to close it. Now, I'm much more of the mind of just using a quick wrist flick, since that's how you're going to open it anyway. But if you'd like, if it feels a bit more controlled, you can always do that with your fingers on the spine of the blade. It's a slick little idea. And again, back to the people that like to collect smaller knives like this. Maybe this is a 5th pocket knife. You know, you've got that little tiny little pocket on your jeans on the right-hand side. You could slip this right in there. It does fit, and it stays secured with the pocket clip that's furnished on there as well. Sometimes you might want something that's a bit quirky and fun and unique. The very few small knives that I have left, one of my favorites is very quirky and unique. It is the Coin Claw by Serge Pinchenko. It's wild, it's different, it's crazy, it's cool. It looks like a coin, and then you flip the claw out, and it's a completely non-traditional knife design, just like this is. Even though when you get down to it, the blade is kind of a traditional shape, kind of a fat, wide dagger shape that looks a bit like it could cut you from either end. Now, it's got a pretty good edge on it on the main edge, so it actually will function as a knife. Even though it is tiny, it is small, and you can get a pretty decent hold on it. It's not going to be super ergonomic. This is obviously not your hard use knife. It could slip in this direction because it's tapered so much. However, this would be a fun little knife to have with you if you work in an office environment and you're opening up envelopes all day. This would be kind of a fun little letter opener to have laying out on your desk or in your pocket. You're opening up packages all day. You get priority mail boxes and UPS boxes and stuff all the time, or Amazon boxes, and slice into it very, very easily with that sharp little edge. And it's just a fun little novelty. Now, these are currently available on Bestech's retail website, as well as throughout their large array of dealers that they have online. Again, you're looking at about $60 on this, so it's not very expensive at all, and probably going to make a lot of people very happy with that low cost. Let's talk about the specs very quickly. We're looking at an overall length of 5.47 inches, closed length. When you get this bad boy closed up, 3.27 inches, very easy to throw in the pocket. And if you didn't feel like using the pocket clip and clipping it to your pocket, you can just drop it down inside of your pocket like a little slip joint, and it'll work just fine. Blade length of 2.2 inches in 14C28N with a satin finish. Your handle material, your frame material, is an aluminum alloy. I know that Ultim is coming in the future for this, and for those that want something even different, I would not bet against them doing something maybe in G10 in the future as well. So if these are popular, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of different variations of them. It is a button lock for the locking mechanism. Your blade thickness is only 118 thou thick, very, very, very slim. So that stock is about 3 millimeters in thickness, and it weighs 51 grams according to their website. I use ounces. I don't know the conversion of 51 grams into how many ounces. Couldn't tell you. Sorry about that. Probably a little bit of math I should have done prior to hitting the record button, but oh well. Do you expect perfection? No, this is the internet. So, is it worth your $60? I don't know. That's entirely up to you. Do you like fun, themed little knives? Do you like little knives to begin with of any type? And are you going to use something that's shaped like this? Now, I think a lot of people are going to be interested in this just because it is that much different than everything else that's available. And I kind of like the backstory to it. To have an 8-year-old little girl that designed a knife is kind of a neat story. And again, let's not forget that Ostap, who has created a number of really, really cool knife designs, many of which I have reviewed here on my channel in the past, that his involvement brought this to fruition and made it I wanted to say practical design, but no, that's not practical. But it's more practical than just a fanciful, let me shape a knife like a bug kind of idea, because that could have been executed in a number of different ways, and some may have been a little bit too hokey to succeed. And Ostap has done a great job of bringing this to fruition, keeping everything balanced and making it where it can actually be used as a knife. So hats off to him once again for another great idea. And Bestech's execution, as always, is pretty darn fantastic. With Bestech, you almost always get something significantly higher than the money that you're paying. But hey, let's face it, when you're spending $60, the bar is probably not very high for you. And if you like small knives and you like quirky designs, I think that this is money well spent for you to add to your collection and maybe even into your EDC rotation as a fun little package or letter opener. That's the way I look at it. And that's all I've got to say about that. And I'll see you guys on the next video.